This is a Rogue Media Network podcast.
Welcome back to another episode of No Waco. This is your host, Debbie. Welcome back to another episode of No Waco. I'm your host, Debbie, and today we have a very special guest here in the studio. Go ahead.
Special.
And introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Michael McBrine.
Yeah.
Which camera do I look at?
What do you do? Corner.
This one? Hi, my name is Michael McBrine.
We have a comedian on the show, literally.
Where?
So tell me
Am
what
I
you
still
do.
one of those?
Maybe.
I don't know anymore. I don't know. I
What
really
do
don't
you
know.
do?
I do so many things. It feels like, what's that expression? Be a master of none and be
Ooh.
good at everything.
Yeah, I love
I'm
that.
working on the second part right now. I've got the first master of
Already
none.
done.
I've got that down. It's the second part I'm working on. I run Slapsticks Entertainment, which we put on trivia shows, live music bingo, improv comedy. I'm boring myself. Stand-up comedy, just any kind
Murder mystery dinners.
murder mystery dinners. And for some reason, DJing at weddings now.
I love that.
I've been approached by multiple people to come DJ their wedding, and I'm like, okay,
I'm in.
I don't know what I did to make you. I'll take the gig. Sure.
Love that.
Love it. But I don't know. It's just funny to me that people have approached me and I'm like, okay, cool. No, I did stand-up comedy for several years. And it's so unrewarding and a lot
Are
of
laughs
hard
not
work.
enough for you?
Money is what I'm really after.
Dang.
And
You can't pay your bills.
I
And
currently
chuckles?
live in a city where the stand-up comedy scene is kind of not. I was the stand-up comedy scene
for a minute, for a hot minute.
for years.
Yeah.
And then a couple of guys came and then they were like, hey, I'm doing stand-up in Waco. I want to make it happen. And I'd sit back and watch. And then they'd try for a couple of years and they'd disappear. It's nothing against Waco. It's just a population thing. We
just don't have funny people here, right?
Well, no, it's not even that. We have a lot of funny people here. I always said Waco, as far as just talent, homegrown talent, Waco could give any other city in this state a run for its money. It's just that, it's just we have kind of the population working against us, and that's unfortunate. But it is what it is. I'm in a band now.
Wow.
I've been focusing more on wow. That sounded so fake. No, I'm in a band now. They were called The Revenge Business. You can look us up on Facebook and Instagram. On Facebook, it's just The Revenge Business. On Instagram, it's _revenge_ business, because it used to be The Revenge Business, and then I was hacked is what it was. Someone took my.
Oh, you have to put official now. So now it has to be the _revenge_
Oh no!
business
I just thought of that.
official _
We should have just called the new handle that the official. I don't know. That's just too much. Just the _revenge_ business. And
what kind of music do you guys do?
That is a question we get asked all the time, and that is a
it
question.
dad rock?
I don't even know what that is.
That's what the kids call
I
it.
haven't seen that channel on Sirius XM, Dad Rock. But we get asked that question all the time, and we are still not exactly sure how, because we do so much of every little thing. I don't know. We do everything from classic rock like Aerosmith, AC/DC sounding. Even though we do covers, I'm talking about our original songs. We kind of lean to more of the classic, although we do a lot of alternative sounding things too. What it comes down to is my guitar player is much more old school, like Stevie Ray Vaughan, that kind of genre. Whereas I was, 90s alternative is my jam.
I love that.
We kind of meet halfway in the middle. So some of our stuff sounds, and even then combined, we do some songs that don't sound like either genre. It's kind of more of the punk, and I don't know. It's just all rock and roll. And we haven't ever really tried to be in a genre or not. Just whatever rocks, we try. we try our best.
I love that.
We've been playing for the band started technically at the end of 2021.
Okay.
But we didn't do our first gig till the end of 2022.
Wow.
And then 2023, we had drummer issues.
Everybody has drummer issues.
That's what I was about to say. I think
technical difficulties.
So we took a few months off for that. So really, we've been together. My guitar player and our bass player. We've been together for a year and a half, 2 years. But it really doesn't. It feels like it's still so new because we haven't had that. And we've done a lot of gigs, but we just haven't had in a row. Does that make sense? Like we did a bunch of gigs and we had to take a few months off because of our drummer issues. Then we got back on it, and then we're kind of tired and had to take a break. Yeah. But we like playing. And there's nothing. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something, Debbie. Did you introduce yourself? You introduced me.
Okay, I said who I was. You were asleep.
I can I was
probably the boring part.
I'm sleep deprived. I'm sleep deprived from watching Godzilla films with my son last night, and that's why I'm very nervous to be in a tall building right now.
No kaiju.
We're
on a kaiju
looking
alert.
over my shoulder for somebody to come attack. But I will say this about playing in a band, live music. It feels so much better than doing stand-up comedy.
Really?
Like it is stand-up comedy.
You don't have to talk usually.
Well, I do a lot of talking.
Okay.
Especially in the beginning when we only had like 12 songs that we knew, but we were asked to play like 2 hour sets.
Can you do a 2 hour set for us? And you're like,
right now?
Yeah, right now.
I'm sorry. I thought you were
on the show.
I thought you were asking
bring
me.
the band. We're doing it right now.
No, we have a song called All or Nothing. And that song we wrote because I was kind of naive when we first started. I thought we'll learn some songs, play a couple of covers, and we'll be asked to do 20, 30-minute sets. The first gig we got offered was at Dancing Bear downtown. And they were like, okay, we need you to do a 2 hour set. And I thought, oh, okay. So we had to learn something like 5 more songs. And I remember our drummer at the time said, don't worry, Mike's a comedian. He'll just talk a lot between the songs. And I was like, okay. So
you got to learn magic. You got to learn magic to do in between the sets.
I've learned enough. I'm done learning. I'm not going back to school. You can't force me.
Not clown college.
But I did a lot of talking in the beginning. And there's still a lot of stuff you have to do on your feet, adjust on the fly. Mm-hmm. Like if we're running over on time, I look at the sense like we're cutting that out. We're going to skip to this. If somebody in the crowd's doing something that's just kind of crazy, you have to acknowledge it, you have to talk to the crowd.
You gotta heckle.
Or if they're not even paying attention, you have to say, I'll say things all the time like, it is an honor and a privilege for us to be the soundtrack for your cornhole game tonight. Thank you.
At Barnett's probably.
Barnett's all the time. But it's good. It's whatever. And it's all about trying to grab their attention. But yeah, it's a lot more rewarding to play live music on stage than it is to tell jokes. I honestly just toward the end of my stand-up, I just hated doing it so much because it didn't matter how many laughs I got. I still felt like this thing in my stomach. There was just like that one joke didn't go over like I wanted it to go. And I'm just so mad at myself. Didn't matter that 99 other jokes killed. Yeah. That one joke, you're just so mad. We have been doing improv shows. Mm-hmm. Improv shows are a lot of fun. And in a weird way, easier than stand-up, which for years I thought was the opposite. Because, stand-up, you have your jokes memorized, hopefully memorized, or at least you're reading them off a little piece of paper. And you kind of know, you've practiced them a lot. When you're out there in improv, it's like you're up there without a net. But there's something freeing about that. I can't explain it. And then you just get to be natural and kind of funny. So, yeah, that's something I'd like to continue to do if anyone will have me. No, Slapsticks, we've put on a few improv shows. We've had a lot of fun. I'm sorry. What was your question?
Yeah. What
Was
do you
there
do?
a question?
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
what?
we're still on what do you
Oh,
do?
That question you asked 20 minutes ago?
No, we're having a great time.
I'm just trying to figure out what it is I do.
Aren't we all? It's like the question of life. We're all trying to get towards something. We just don't know what yet.
I don't know. I guess you would say I'm an entertainer. For better or worse.
Are you not entertained?
Yeah, that's what I ask my kids all the time. Are you not entertained? And they're like, Dad, we don't get that reference. We haven't seen that movie.
They're not old enough to see that. Well, it sounds like you have been in the Waco area for quite a long time.
Too long, some would say.
Are you a Waco native, or what brought you to Waco? What's your Waco story?
My Waco story.
Yeah.
Sounds like my biopic, my Waco story. No, I was born here, not here, but slightly over there at the old Hillcrest building.
Mm-hmm.
And then I lived here with my family till I was 7 years old. And then we moved to Delaware.
Wow.
Because it was the 80s.
Yeah.
And there was this president named Ronald Reagan who made the economy what some experts would call horrible. And at that time, people were not building houses, which was bad because my dad was a carpenter and he couldn't find work here in town. And his family, his side of the family is in Delaware. That's his Waco story. We're not going to talk about that. This is my Waco story.
Your bio.
So that's actually a funny story. Anyway, if we have time, you'll get a bonus Waco story. But my dad's originally from Delaware, and his family said, hey, come on to Delaware. We're going to take care of you. So my parents packed up us kids, went to Delaware. We got to Delaware. And his family said, cool. All right, you can stay with us for 2 weeks and then you got to find a place of your own. And then my parents were like, what? I thought you said we could stay with you until we get our feet from underneath us. And they're like, oh, that's cool.
Was 2 weeks.
Yeah, we'll give you a few weeks. And so it was just bouncing around from city to city in Delaware. And that probably has a lot to do with my accent or lack thereof. Mm-hmm. And one day my mom just said, I have had enough of Delaware. I want to go back home to Waco. And so I came back to Waco and I went to Waco High. And and then I graduated and then I wanted to be a movie star. So I went to this place and I feel no hesitation in talking about KD Studio, the place where I got my associate's degree from, and a lot of student loan debt as well.
Yes.
If you don't know what KD Studio is, congratulations, you're a normal person. But that is it was an actress conservatory. I believe it's called KD College now.
Ooh.
And I don't want to say anything necessarily because now I'm thinking about potential lawsuits. But
no, Waco's not liable for any statements made on the podcast by
exactly. But I just want you guys to know from the bottom of my heart that I never said KD Studio was a scam.
Oh, okay.
I never said that.
You never said that.
I never said
for the record, you did not say that.
It was an acting and modeling agency where Kim Dawson, the one that the initials KD comes from, saw a way to get money from the government by offering associate's degree. I never said that. Okay, guys, don't put words in my mouth. But yeah, I don't know. And it's just been kind of just a struggle since.
Yeah.
And now I'm 75, I think.
That tracks.
In August, 75.
Yeah,
I'm in August. But yeah, it's just.
You're a Leo or are you a Virgo?
What?
Are you a Leo or are you a Virgo?
Well, it depends.
Are you early August or late?
Well, no, it depends because.
Oh, how you're feeling.
No, it depends because the original astrologies, they don't go by the original dates they're from anymore. And scientists will tell you this because.
And if you're 75, the sky has moved a little bit
farther. Who even knows how old I am anymore? I'm going to take that to my grave. My watery grave.
I'll put it on your grave.
Spoilers. Anyway, what?
I'll still put it on your grave.
Okay, cool. My watery grave.
Oh, no.
Anyway, spoilers. Anyway, I'm sorry. I just like that joke. Anyway, where was it? Oh, yeah. And so I lived in Dallas for a couple of years and then I moved and then Dallas got amazing after I left, which is weird.
Wow.
Like you've seen these, like the photos, they compare like Dallas 20 years ago to today. And same thing with Austin.
When you left.
It's
the what is it? Before Michael McBrine, after
so it'd be BM.
A and B. Oh, it's a BM.
It's a BM. It's BM and
Yeah,
AD as in
love that.
after that dude left.
Yeah.
Does that work? Not really.
I don't think so.
Anyway, so yeah, I lived in Dallas for a couple of years, and I came back to Waco, and I've been here pretty much since.
Cool.
And I've had a couple of marriages, couple of divorces, couple of kids. It's everything in twos with me.
I like that.
Yeah, I don't, but
Two's
except
my
for
lucky
maybe
number.
the kids part. I like that part.
Aw.
But yeah, it's been a little bit of a journey. I've been a part of this town for a long time. It's been part of me for a long time, and I'm over it. I'm done. I have served my time. No, Waco is a great town sometimes. It's not bad. It's just what really, if we can get real here for a moment.
Yeah,
Debbie?
yeah, we can get philosophical.
All right. Here's the thing. I have a lot of hopes and dreams.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Waco is a great facilitator for many hopes and dreams.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is they're not necessarily my hopes and dreams. As we have stated before with stand-up comedy, this town does not have the population size to support it, which is fine.
Mm-hmm.
Which is fine. And might I add, nobody's fault. The thing is, there's some positives to Waco. Can we talk about the positives in Waco? I feel like I was being a little negative there. So let's be the positives.
Tell me about some of the growth.
The positives is sorry, my Delawarean accent was coming out there. The positives is we are kind of centrally located to some other major cities.
Amazing.
So a couple of hours away from Dallas. I say a couple of hours away from Austin because I don't drive like a maniac, but some would say we're an hour and a half away from Austin.
I say we're an hour on a good day.
Oh my gosh, Debbie, we need to talk about your driving. But and so that, and for years I did stand up. I would drive down to Austin and I would do clubs there, and I drive to Dallas, and none of the Dallas comedians had that privilege of doing that. And it's just the same thing. If you want to go out on a Saturday night, hey, let's go up to Dallas or let's go down to Austin. And, people in other cities don't really have that option. Another thing, and this is possibly my favorite thing about Waco, Texas, is that for the most part, with the exception of the Dr. Pepper Museum, parking is free here in the city.
It's true.
It is great. And I think here's what we need to do. First of all, other cities, take note. Stop, because you were like, oh, gosh, I've been doing a lot of traveling for Slapsticks, trying to establish more places for my empire. And I have to park. I have to pay to park everywhere. It's so dumb. It's so, you either had to pay to park or drive around for a while to find a place. It's annoying. Same thing with Dallas. It's all $5 to park here.
If I literally get away
$10.
with not spending $20 on parking in a day, going to Austin or Dallas, I think it's a good day.
It's ridiculous. And I'm proud to say that it's a scam. Yeah. You can quote me on that. Dallas, Austin, Houston, whatever, San Antonio, your pay for park is a scam. You're trying to squeeze people out of all their money. And it's especially what you're doing is the tourists is what you're doing, because the locals there know the spots to park. But if you're not from those cities, you don't know. And it doesn't.
And driving is already scary.
It's to paraphrase Eminem from the song "Stand." That's the kind of stuff that makes me think we shouldn't meet each other. Dang. I don't know. That's not the exact line.
Snaps.
Because the only line in that song I really know is "We should be together too,"
which is how not that one.
Which is how I end every one of my letters and emails. And we should be together too.
I love that.
It's creepy.
It's just enough concerning, right?
Yeah. So and so that's the one thing. The second thing is Dr. Pepper Museum. What are you doing? What are you doing? How are you charged? For years, you guys were doing fine with and now you're charging to park. I don't want to take my kids there. No. So anyway.
Or you can just walk 4 blocks.
Exercise?
Yeah. In this economy?
Ew. The only exercise I'm going to do all year is when I walk down the stairs, because I'm not taking that elevator again to get up here. I was elevator, more like hellevator. That scared the crap out of me. It's elevators. It was shaking.
We're on the 21st floor of the Alco
It was
building.
shaking a lot.
Well, it was a little storming outside, so maybe.
Can I tell you something? This is my first time ever in the Alco building.
I'm so glad.
I have lived here for 90 years.
Wow.
And this is my first time in the Alco building. And let me tell you what a joy it is. This is actually my first time being this high up in the air in a long time.
Yeah. Oh, we were talking about that. So I'm glad you're getting over your fear, you know?
Oh, no, it's still there.
Oh, it's deep in your pit of
This is what's called a mask.
Oh.
What I'm doing.
Okay.
Deep down, I am shaking.
Quaking.
I'm quaking.
Like the elevator.
Don't say quake. That's not a good term to use. Don't say
Quaker's
quake
Oats was
right now.
on recall too, so we got to take that
So,
off.
say that again?
Quaker's Oats was on recall.
Quaker Oats?
Yeah. So
oh,
don't get
man.
Quaker Oats.
I can't eat oatmeal.
They were on recall. You said you're 90 years old. What else can you eat?
Wouldn't you like to know? Oh, wait a minute. We can't edit that part out. That's inappropriate.
Thanks, Josh.
What's wrong with you? Anyway.
But yeah, there are some good things.
There are some positive things. A lot of people here are really nice.
Yeah.
There are some people here who
are really mean. Oh, I wasn't going to say that.
What's the politically correct way to say ghetto? I don't know.
I don't know.
So the latest chapter of my Waco story, this past January, I had some trivia gigs because that's my main source of income.
Yes,
now.
tell us when your trivia gigs are.
My trivia gigs, if you're in the Waco area and you would like to play the hottest trivia game in town, you can go to on Monday nights, this lovely place called Lakeside Bar. It's by the airport. You're on Tuesday nights, I'm at Freight Bar. That's by, close to the downtown Baylor area. On Wednesday nights, I'll be at Torchy's, and that's the same thing, downtown area. On Thursday nights, I do something a little different at Freight Bar, do music bingo, which is where I'll be later tonight, which I really should be preparing for right now.
Get prepared.
But I'll be okay. I'll wing it as I normally do. That is actually the worst part about being your own boss.
Yeah.
Is
procrastination.
That, and there's the only person you can hold accountable for anything is yourself.
Yeah. I just pretend that I have like my own HR. And then I'm like, oh,
yeah,
she's going to get me for that.
And I'm glad I brought this up to you because I think you can relate to this. It's like when you don't get something done, you're just like, I have no one else but to blame. Like,
it's just myself.
Why did I watch that movie? Why did
you stay up until 2 a.m. watching Godzilla? It happens.
Why did I play PlayStation last night? Why did I do this? And then, I don't know about you, but I'm really hard on myself.
I think all small business owners are.
And I think you got to say to yourself, you needed that mental break there, because
it's a mental health break.
Honestly, and that's what I think.
And that's Mental Health Awareness Month, kids.
I think that's what draws a lot of people to not wanting to start their own business, is because you have to realize this. And I think any small business owner, at least any really successful one, or I've been doing this for a while. I'm not going to say how long because of legal purposes, but no, is that you're constantly working. It's not, you don't take
I always
breaks.
joke that I quit my 9 to 5 to work a 24/5.
I 100% am down with that. It's, I was talking to somebody that runs a food truck a few weeks back, and they were saying, yeah, I left my job working as a chef somewhere to do this. I didn't realize this is my life now. This is all, for food trucks, it's all they do. Get up in the morning, get the truck ready, then you work, and then at night you clean up, then you go to sleep.
And you do it all over again.
And then you wake up. It is your entire life. And that's what my life has been like, because and it's the hardest thing about my life right now is trying to balance everything, especially when you got kids.
Yeah.
Because kids always have to be priority number one.
I love that.
And when there are times when I have so many gigs that I have less time for them, or if dad is like today exhausted and had to work on his music bingo show tonight, I said, why don't you guys play a video game? And you hate it. You hate it because you don't get to spend that quality time with your kids. But that said, just having them near is enough sometimes. That's enough to make me happy. I heard some of the radio say that a while back, because they were talking about their kid came home from spring break from college, and they were asking, well, what'd you do with your daughter? And when she came back, he goes, nothing. She stayed in her room. I stayed in mine. And it was great. And they were like, what are you talking about? It was just great to have them under the same roof. And now that I have kids, and now that I was thinking about it, I know exactly what that's like. It's like, I don't care what you're doing, because honestly, my daughter's 12 now, and she's all about making YouTube videos on her phone.
I love that.
You know, she gets her editing. She needs to start doing stuff for me, because she's getting to be a whiz at the editing videos.
You got to get is that Gen Alpha, or is that 12 and under, Gen A? Are they Alpha generation?
I don't know what they are.
Because they're not Gen Z. I think they're Gen Alpha.
Can I say something? So all growing up, I was Generation Y.
Yeah.
And even though I think all the people my age hated that, because first of all, it was just, you know, a pale copy, or what's the word? It's like an imitation of Generation X. It's like, it's just, you know, it's like being in Generation X's shadow. It's like, okay, you're Generation Y.
Yeah.
and then somewhere along the way, we turned into millennials.
Yeah.
And then we were told we were too old to be millennials. And then
I'm a cusper. From Gen Z to millennial.
Then and then somebody tried to call us Zennials.
I can't stand that. That's what people
no
call
one
me.
liked that. They were like, that is dumb. They called us Zennials for a while, and now and then they were like, screw it, you're Generation X.
Yeah.
I was like, well, wait a minute. I was never Generation X growing up. Now I am one. That doesn't seem fair. If I was going to be Generation X, I would have owned it. You know. Anyway, I don't know.
Yeah.
So I don't know what I am. I don't know what my kids are. I don't know why it's important.
Yeah.
Other than they're not boomers.
I love that.
And
as long as you're not a boomer, you're good.
Honestly, and that's all that matters in this life, is that you're not a boomer.
Or a Karen.
You know what's funny was boomers at one point, they were like the ones who were supposed to save everything. You know, they were the hippies and the ones that fought against the establishment, and the ones that were going to make positive change. And then, like, I don't know if it was the 90s or the 2000s, they suddenly became the people that are holding back everybody else.
I think it was a 2008 economic recession, to be clear. But
I don't know.
Maybe not.
It's this weird thing where when you're young, and it's just not. Did we get the high sign? Oh no!
We might need to wrap up.
I don't know. It just seems to be like this thing when you're young. You kind of, you know, you're the innovators. You're the progressive. You're the one that makes change, and then you make the change, and then the next generation comes along, and they're trying to make their own changes, and the previous generation goes, "Well, wait a minute, we don't like that. We were pushing, you know, if I can get really serious here." We were pushing for gay and lesbian rights, but your trans rights, ooh, that's too much for us. And it's like, well, wait a minute.
No more.
That's it.
And where else can we find you? So tell us all things where we can find you, find more information about you.
Just don't even look for me. No, you can.
Are you telling that to your debt collectors, or are you telling that to your audience?
I want to be left. That is the problem and the conflicting nature that is my life. I feel like the best way I can contribute to society is with entertainment. Whether you're laughing at me or with me, I don't care, as long as you're laughing. But at the same time, I want to be left alone. It's really weird. And I think there's a lot of people out there like that. But no, yeah, The Revenge Business is the band. Slapsticks Entertainment is my trivia entertainment company, whatever you want to find it. You can find it on there. I'm sure, you know what? I believe in you. You don't need a website or any kind of handle. You could look it up and find it. Unless you're a boomer, then what are you even doing watching this show or listening?
Do they listen to podcasts?
Who knows?
I think the analytics will ask.
I think they do, so they can find new stuff to complain about.
Yeah. Well, is there anything else you would like to complain about or share with our listeners today?
I don't know. I'm being rushed out of here. So who knows? No, I don't know. Vote, don't vote, who cares? Eat right, exercise, don't, who cares? I don't care. Anyway, just be happy. Honestly, guys, just be happy. You know, and don't bother or hurt other people. That's the other thing too.
Love that.
Be happy and just leave people alone. Leave people alone. If you disagree with their life or whatever, just leave. Okay, we got to get out of here. We're the cops are here to take me away, so they're telling us to leave.
Well, thank you so much for coming on today.
Thank you for having me. This was delightful.
Revenge Business.
The Revenge Business.
And
coming to
comedy.
a stage near you. Slapsticks.
Coming to a stage near you as well.
Yeah, sure.
Check it out.
Okay, I will. I'm going to do that right
I'm
now.
going to do that right now.
I'm going to look me up right now.
Did you never Google yourself?
Oh, not in public.
Ooh. We're done. Yay, we did it.
We're done. Yay.
Find us everywhere and all social media platforms, KNOW_Waco. Check us out at roguemedianetwork.com, and we're on YouTube under Rogue Media Network. Check out nowaco.com.
This has been a Rogue Media Network production.
And now for a word from our sponsors.
Hey y'all, I'm April,
Hi, I'm Caroline.
and we have a new podcast for you. What's it called, Caroline?
Bloody Happy Hour.
It's going to be your new favorite guilty pleasure. We're going to talk about some bloody stuff. Serial killers, true crime,
Rape.
rapists. Why not join us? We'll have a good time.
You literally never know. I don't know what I'm going to say. Bloody Happy Hour. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts.
Hey, I'm Blair.
And I'm Brittany. And we're the host of
By the Cover Podcast.
We cover everything from mysteries, thrillers, romance, chick lit, and even some smut.
Don't forget the smut.
Yeah.
We're so excited to get this thing going and share this with you guys. We've been talking about this for months, and it's finally happening.
Yes.
Special shout out to Rogue Media for helping us with this.
For sure. For sure. You can find us on Instagram at @bythecover_podcast.
You can also find us on Facebook and TikTok, so don't forget to give us a follow on those two also.
And we are so excited to dive into some of our favorite books and share those with you.
We can't wait. Hope you love it.
What are we doing here, Rusty? What are we going to do?
Yep, we're doing the King of the Hill rewatch podcast.
King of the Hill
Yes, sir.
Rewatch Podcast. Yeah, so we're going to go through one episode at a time. Come along for the ride with us.
Come check it out.
And give me a good like Dale Gribble quote to go out on. Wingo!
Yeah, Wingo.
Wingo!
Wingo.
All right, well, join us for the King of the Hill Rewatch Podcast.
Deep in the heart of Texas, that drinks his brew and he spits his chew. Deep in the heart of Texas, the TV blares but no one cares. Deep in the heart of Texas, here we go.
And now, back to the episode.